Hey, it's Lewis Michael. Thanks for listening. Are you a creator that would like to reach out to our fans with a custom ad? As a comic book artist and podcaster myself, Geeking Around Podcast is here to help other creators advertise their projects. Not only will you get a audio and video ad, you will get a social media ad campaign as well. Click on the Fiverr Fiverr link in the description. Start advertising today. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Geeking Around. I'm the host, Lewis Michael. Make sure to like and subscribe and check out the links in the description for lots of cool stuff like the Geeking Around Network website. There you can get more videos and reviews and articles and other cool stuff. Also, check out my webcomic, Kira Star Wars Story, is being released on Webtoons. I just finished writing part 2 of that, and which will be released as a web novel falls. And then we do a comic book, a web comic, and then we'll do another web comic of an original story called A Hero Adrift, and then go back to part 3 of Kira. So make sure you checking those links out and subscribing to like Webtoons and as well as here, of course, to make sure you stay up to date on all that. Also, if you ever want to become a YouTuber or a podcaster, if you wanted to know which equipment I use, like the microphones and everything, check out my gear list in this description. Has a link to Amazon where you can purchase stuff, which it is affiliate link. So I do get a commission each time you do click on those links and purchase something. So that is a great way to help out the channel. I'm still working on the Patreon thing. I keep forgetting about that, but it'll be like a $1 thing. Then you can get access to the private Geeking Around Neville Studios Discord. Anyway, but yeah, just check out the links in the description. There's so many cool things there. Well, let's get into today's topic. I was originally going to do that one thing I said last time about how it's watching movies, streaming it on like Netflix and stuff is different from doing it in theaters. I might still do that because I do think that's very interesting. But this is something that's been blowing up on like the gaming community and stuff that I keep seeing everywhere on social media and YouTube and stuff. And I'm like, well, let's see what we can do here, and might do a video and see what the hubbub is all about and start digging into it a little bit. And so here we are. So let's get into it. So G4 host Indiana Black claims viewers are unconsciously biased against her because she is not as bangable as the previous host. So G4 TV was a channel that you could get back in the day that was the only like gaming and geek channel that was mainstream, and they was basically doing what a lot of these gaming YouTubers and stuff are now doing decades before. And so they was kind of ahead of the time, and when they came back and now they primarily doing stuff on YouTube and everything, it was actually kind of cool. A lot of people was very excited about it until this all happens. So according to the host, Indiana Black, various instances of pushback and disagreements she has received are not only the result of sexism in gaming, but also, as herself puts it, the apparent fact that she is not as bangable as previous hosts. So she started this rant on a recent episode of XPlay during a segment entitled The Airing of Gaming Grievances with the other host. To complete this the Black Haji and Adam Sezlong, or however you said it. We're just gonna call him Adam for now. Sezlong. So at first she did talk about Dead Redemption and stuff, and then for like 1 minute, and then she went right into this rant, and you can find it on YouTube and everything. And this is what she said. And joining G4, I was ecstatic to be part of something I grew up watching as a child. But every time G4 is brought up on various channels, even this YouTube channel, we have the chat in front of us. I can't see you without a doubt, and there will be black glass because I am not as bangable as the previous host. It has somehow been expected that you can talk about how much you jerk off to women as a compliment. It's not a compliment. It's dehumanizing, and it's weird. Women did not exist to be nice on the eyes for you. Morgan Webb, Olivia Munn did not exist to be nice on the eyes for you. And that's just obvious sexism. You don't need to be explicitly objectify women or declare that you hate women to be sexist. Just go ahead and check out Thorne's latest meltdown on Twitter for some spark notes. So that's part of what she said in a little rant. A lot of the criticism and disagreements and stuff and the backlash she's been receiving was from her reviews. A particular one I have been seeing a lot that people have been popping up was calling PlayStation 5 a dead man walking, and everything she based that claim off of was misinformation or wasn't true. She talked about how there was no exclusives, and where I think PlayStation 5 is only out of Xbox and PlayStation or Xbox Series S and stuff. PlayStation only one that had actual Sony, PlayStation Studios exclusives that came out on launch day, where Xbox had a bunch of games with the enhancements of Xbox Series X, but none of them was Xbox exclusive. It wasn't made by Microsoft or anything. So that was a blatant lie. And she mentioned how there is Hogwarts Legacy, which is not exclusive at all. It's on all platforms. And let's continue to go through some what she continued to say in a rant. Here at XPlay, our reviews are written and produced by a team of people. There are too many games for one person to show them the buttons, so we divide and conquer. So when we use language like we or I, that's the review. That's come from the mouth and the experience of the reviewer reading that review. And that's not to say that Gerard, TBH, and Adam or myself don't contribute to the reviews. We absolutely do, but it will always be in the various degrees and take a whole team behind us. That's why we XPlay and not Adam play. She goes on to say, we have done the experiments and control for the variables. Adam will read a script written by the same writer that I will read the other half of the script for, but I will be the one flamed. And she mentioned how it does happen to the other guys, but it does not discount the sexism on how it happens to me when it does. Both things can be true. That there is a general hatred of any change that isn't Adam. That I receive special flames just for being a woman, and I wish I could turn the camera around so you could see the incredible team that makes XPlay. Half our producers and writers are women. And she drawn to a conclusion. When you're in our DMs or in those YouTube comments or in Twitch chat right now, those actionary threads, thinking that I'm somehow ruining your current XPlay experience because you can't justify me how you previously did to Morgan, or that I'm somehow less qualified to speak on something, but you can't quite put your finger on why, even though I'm reading the exact same script as Adam. But you have no problem with his part of it. You're letting your unconscious bias ruin my day, and you gatekeeping the gaming experience. So maybe for 2022, we be a bit nicer, a bit more self-reflected, and we enjoy the fact that we are working hard to make free content for you. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Peace. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, she rambled on and on about gaming and sexualism. Sexualism and gaming, but it was all about Hong. She talked about how the other co-hosts do get backlash as well, so it's not. And as this article is saying, that this kind of proves that it's not gender specific and that it's a lot less widespread of a case instead of a full-blown thing. And really going and watching some of the XPlay and G4 videos on YouTube, I don't see that many bad comics. I mean, I do see some, but not much more than any other YouTube. You're gonna have haters no matter what, you know. I mean, I got haters too. I write Star Wars comics, so I got haters. And she talks about how they have a whole team that writing these reviews and these scripts, and talking about because, you know, it wouldn't be able to produce all the videos and reviews and stuff if it was just all one person. And that's true, and I think that's not a big deal. How my problem is with that is that you gotta at least know what you're talking about. You know, at least try. If you knew that you would go and play this game, then play the game for a little. Maybe you don't have to beat it to get a good feel of the game. You know, that's always been a big debate, but at least play the game. And a lot of the games that they are been reviewing are older games, so it's games that been out for a while, so it's not like you couldn't. One thing I have learned is that, particularly in the gaming journalism, you know, in that industry, is that they are expected to write reviews and articles, 10 of them a day, and each one of them has to be 1,000 words, like 10,000 words each. I mean, that's way too much for one person. So I kind of agree, you know, understand where she coming from about that. But she is the public face of these reviews, so she gonna get the backlash of it when people don't agree with it. And talk about how G4, as it also seems odd to use G4 as a platform to denounce the objectification of women. She said she claimed she watched it as a child, but we've seen a whole bunch of times with Olivia Munn and co-host Kevin Pereira, yeah, how you say his last name, Kevin, doing a lot of, you know, ranchy stuff and Attack of the Show and stuff. We all remember the hot dog scene, you know, it's shown there, but yeah, there's no one. But here's another thing, you know, the ending of her rant: if you don't like it, don't watch it. I mean, this has been said by so many like feminists and SJWs and stuff that have been, who got into these creative, you know, Hollywood industries, gaming industries, comic book industry, and what happens? Well, they get straight up worried because no one reads them. A particular one is Marvel writer. She said, "If you don't like my politics, don't buy my book. I'm going to make the book that I'm going to make, and if you don't want to read them, don't read them." And then she said, "I'm straight worried. Stores are closing at a phenomenal rate. Independent comics sales are down." That's not actually true. Mainstream comic sales are down, except the top 3 or 5 books are up. Not even that's actually not true either. Everything in the miss list is way down. Numbers that used to be numbers that will get you canceled are now like, no, that's a hit. Independent books making the back of the cost doing floppies, it is like names that should be able to do it no sweat, are going into red on sales and not coming out until the trades. And it worries me. Yeah, because you sit there and told your main fan base to fuck off, and now here's one of the hosts of G4 that was a big thing for the gaming community is telling people, to fuck off because of her stance on stuff. Now, if she really wanted to really talk about sexism and gaming, should have talked about the whole Activision and Blizzard thing. They are being sued by the state of California for sexual abuse against the female employees, and they've been doing for years and years because of this frat board type of like culture that they created there. And I don't think as far as I can tell, she never mentioned anything like that. Yeah, this is why I kind of feel like there should be some type of like gatekeeping for it. Like, yeah, there's our problems that we do need to take care of, kind of like the whole Blizzard and Activision thing. What they doing was completely wrong, but we shouldn't just hire random people with no real background in these industry or anything. Like, yeah, maybe she was a huge video game owner and stuff, but like, come on, Olivia Munn, was she really a gamer? No, but still. The Marvel, one of the head writers of Marvel, editor or whatever, the only thing she had to do with writing before becoming one of the head editors at Marvel is writing a blog for a feminist blog. That was it. Why? Is because Marvel's like, oh, we gotta hire a woman, so let's just hire this person. Then we can start getting, and then they come in, and then they ruin everything because they don't know anything about the comics book or the things that they are creating or having a creative control over it, and then they ruin it, and then you have them not selling well. Just like we talked about earlier on, the lady from Marvel saying that she's straight up worried mainstream comics is awful. Manga is out selling them left and right, and independent comics are actually doing quite well on like places like Kickstarter and stuff. Like I said, there's times where gatekeeping can be good. We need not just to hire random people that don't know what they're doing, and then get mad when people don't like it. I worked at a company where like couple years experience and trying to get promoted to a supervisor position where I was like assistant supervisor for like 2 years, and then they would rather hire someone off the street that never worked in this industry ever, and then get pissed off a few months later when this person doesn't know what they talking about or don't know what they doing. To me, I think it's time for the higher ups, executives, and managers who making these calls to allow these people to come in and ruin stuff. They need to be fired. These people they hire, needs to be removed and give back to the people who actually do like it, to actually do know what they talk about. Like a comic book industry, I follow so many great artists on social media and YouTube and stuff, and that does a way better job creating way better art, creating way better stories than what DC and Marvel are coming out with. And that's why like stuff like webtoons and webcomics are coming big things, is people don't want to work for DC and Marvel anymore. They're like, well, I can just do my own thing and and put on webtoons and stuff, and there you go. I create my own characters, do my own stories, do my own artwork, and bam. You don't get as much money, but if you do you can get to a certain point where you can start making an actual living doing what you care about. And YouTube is a big thing. A lot of them start to make YouTube channels teaching you how to draw and stuff, and just like gaming journalism, people got tired of Otaku and Polygon and stuff, and making these stupid writing these stupid articles that all about the political agenda that had nothing to do with gaming. Like, if I go to a gaming channel, a gaming website, I expect it to be about gaming. If I read a PlayStation 5 review, I expect it to be about PlayStation 5, not about how much you hate Trump. That's why so many people started doing their own stuff. That's why G4 got canceled originally, because people started making YouTube videos and their own websites, and now it become even more popular to do that because we keep getting stuff like this person here who will start making all political and stuff. Again, like I said, some things do need to be talked about regards in games, sexism in games, like the Activision thing, a lawsuit that does need to be talked about. Just how like the whole Me Too movement, with Harvey Weinstein and stuff, or like the Jeff Epstein stuff, those things needed to be talked about and needed to be addressed and stuff and taken care of. But I don't think every single little thing, Gamergate or Comic-Gate, Me Too 2.0, it's not every single little thing it is. But, and well, that's all we have for today. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.